think we're all aware that South Africa has the highest unemployment rate in the world. However, what's more shocking is the youth unemployment rate, which is at about 46% this year. So I'm launching a 21-day workshop right here on TikTok where we are spending 5 to 10 minutes per day on improving our CVs, LinkedIn, interview skills, and more to make sure that you are job ready for 2026. Hi, I'm Anastasia. I'm an HR and recruitment specialist, and I'm also here to help you find a job. All right, the first thing that I want you guys to do today is to change your CV template. If you guys have a Canvas CV that looks all nice and pretty, get rid of it. We're not doing that. There are two major reasons why I don't like Canvas CVs. Number one is a lot of them are not ATS friendly, which means that most of them don't even get into the recruiter's hands. So a lot of recruiters don't even see it and it's automatically rejected by ATS systems. And number two, even if it does get into the recruiter's hands, a lot of the time the Canvas CVs are extremely distracting. There's a lot of visuals and it's actually difficult to find the information that we as recruiters are looking for. And I can confirm that this study is true, which basically says that recruiters only spend around 7 seconds looking at a CV before they decide to toss it or keep it. So let's make sure that you're making the right impression in those first few seconds. So the first task that you're going to be doing today is Googling Harvard resume template. If you know how to use Google, you'll be able to find it. So this is what the template looks like. I know it seems boring, but trust me, this is the standard. It's so much easier for us to read through. Now, once you find the template online, it's honestly really simple to fill out. You know exactly where you need to put what information. For example, where you studied, if you did study. If not, then just your high school name, and then obviously, the companies that you have worked in and bullet points of what you did. This template pretty much tells you exactly what to do. You don't even need me for this. However, what I do want you to do for today's task is once you download this, put your name up there, and then I want you to create a title for yourself. So that's under here where I've written human resources and recruitment specialist. That section actually isn't in the original template, but I feel like it's actually quite a strong positioning. So just add that in. If you have not ever worked, you don't have a specific title, and maybe you are still a student, you're still studying, that's perfectly fine. You can type in there, student of Bachelor of Commerce of Marketing, for example. That should literally take you 1 minute to do those two things, and then I want you to pop in the city that you live in, as well as your email address and your cell phone number. And one thing I'll say is, it doesn't happen often, but I've seen it a few times. If your email address is still from, grade 5, like cool chick 420, then I suggest you just create a new one that sounds a bit more professional. So don't be putting in all of your subjects under education and all of the projects you've worked on. Honestly, it's a big waste of time for you. And I can tell you now that the recruiters are not going to be looking at that. However, you can put in notable results that you got. Maybe you finished your degree cum laude, or perhaps any important awards that you got, then you can put that in there. So like I said, it takes about 7 seconds for a recruiter to look through your CV before deciding whether they want to toss it. And the way that the eye naturally moves, I would say, is going from the name and then immediately catching the title, checking that your location is correct, that you are actually based in a city where they are recruiting. That's actually quite a big thing. And then they will most probably very swiftly go through education. A lot of the time, unless a specific level of education is very important for that specific role, a lot of the time the recruiter will just kind of skip to your job positions. And so with that being said, it's very important that you actually word your job position correctly. And the way that you can do that is actually look at job posts that you are interested in. Look at jobs on LinkedIn, on Indeed, anywhere, and see what keywords are being used. So for example, in HR, let's say when I've been looking for jobs, it can range from being an HR manager to a people specialist, a people officer. So it's just really important that you know exactly what you're looking for and that the keywords that you are using are the same type of keywords and titles that are being used in the job titles that you're looking for. And also, if you've got time today, then fill out, your responsibilities in bullet point format. If you are a student, you have no formal work experience, then what you can put in your experience section is rather talk about any internships that you've had. You can talk about volunteering that you had. even a summer job that you perhaps did. The bottom part here, leadership and activities, I would say that's more geared towards students or graduates. The skills and interests are important for everybody. Make sure that if you do fill that in, that you don't only put in soft skills, but also hard technical skills. That's quite important. So I don't know how much time you guys want to spend on this today, but if I were you, I would say just focus on that top section, your education, and get your titles of your previous roles correct. So that's your task for today. If you guys have any questions, pop them into the comments, and don't forget to follow for the rest of the 21 days.
This is a list of things I hate about being unemployed or job hunting. Number 1, the mental toll. If you're unemployed, you know how much job hunting messes up with your head. Number 2, being broke. Uzaba broke, and I also believe about broke. But I mean, that's the reality. Uzaba broke down. Number 3, companies that require a video or testimonials. Why? Oh, why? ECV in a reference list. How about you look at the references over phonele or something? Number 4, in my profession, sometimes you're required to drop off a CV instead of submitting it through email or in a website. And it didn't broke. You know I'm unemployed. Where am I supposed to get the money now to drop off a CV? Number 5, abantu advisors needs about how to get a job. Too many advisors. Funeke wenze kanje. Ndiyenza. Trust me, ndiyenza. Number 6, people who ask if I'm even applying. Oh no, this one, this one, it makes me crash out, but I'm not gonna. Number 7, people who are going to suggest side hustles. Don't do that. And where do you expect me to get the capital for a side hustle? Dineke. Oh no, funa ukuthengisa noba yi-archer. Zisa iipheyili ze-archer ndithengise i-archer. Oh, thengisa noba ziswiti ngeke ube broke. Ndinike imali yeswiti ndihambe ndiyozithenga, ndizawuzithengisa. It's fine. Number 8, people who get a job and then babe guru and masters of job hunting advisors. Like, I understand, but you got a job and now you think I'm not doing enough to get a job. Like, aibo, sundiqhela. But yeah, kahle sundiqhela. Lastly, companies that don't get back to you. Why? Suyenza lonto.
There's some advice that I hear that I immediately just go, that are so ignorant or ill-informed of you to say. And most times it's unsolicited. Like, people will advise you to move out of your hometown. Okay, but with what? I can barely find a job in my hometown. How do I move to a completely new big city? Where am I going? I don't know anyone there. I think the reduction of things makes it easy to say, but the person you're telling this to doesn't receive it in this reduced form. Because when you tell me to move out of where I'm living and I'll probably get a better chance of employment, move how? How do I just move to a new city when I'm not even employed in this one? Oh, you should look into teaching in China. Does anyone, or do people not know how much money you need to actually, before you get to teaching in another country? the visa applications, you need money for all sorts of things. I remember when I was looking down this pipeline, someone mentioned that you might need plus minus 25,000 rand before you get your first salary teaching English in Asia. You're giving this advice to someone that's unemployed, mind you. I think there need to be different ways of speaking to people that are not working, because the things that I've been hearing, ignorant, extremely.
Ungibona ngo-12 estradeni shuthi angisebenzi ungibuzelani ukuthi kanti awukho umsebenzi. Sana being unemployed triggers a lot of anger. Not that I'm unemployed, I'm realizing that when a person asks me like, what are you doing, what are you busy with, what are you doing in life, so I get so angry. I don't know what causes that, but then I just realized that I actually get so angry, which is why I don't really go outside anymore, because I'm just avoiding people asking me that. Like, obviously ungibona ngo-12 estradeni shuthi angisebenzi ungibuzelani ukuthi kanti awukho umsebenzi. Like, that triggers me so much. I don't know what it is, but it triggers me.